Hello, hello, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. Oh my god, excuse me. Outside the diner, a comfortable breeze blows. I close my eyes and enjoy the comfortable wind ruffling through my fur. This really is a godsend in this particularly hot day. June notices it too, letting his fur flutter against the wind. Well, the weather sure took a nice turn all of a sudden. It's the world telling us it likes our plans. Well, I certainly don't mind that. Someone comes running off the street and bumps into me. Whoa, careful! Shuichi reacts fast and grabs me before I fall to the ground. The other person isn't as lucky. Hey, watch where you're going, will you? Fallen onto the ground is a small Akita girl, rubbing her back with a pained expression on her face. Are you all right? Here, let me help you. Sai extends a helping hand, and the girl takes hold of it, propping herself up. Thanks. And you, watch where you're going. What if I had gotten seriously hurt? What? But You're the one who should watch it. What are you doing running around in the middle of the street? Of course you're gonna bump into someone. You should be the one apologizing. What? But I'm so small. Smaller than him. As soon as her eyes focus on me, they go wide. You! Her expression immediately takes a turns sharp, and she points at me with a yell. You know her? Not that I recall. Whoa, I can't believe I'd run into you here. Talk about an interesting turn of... What is this? Mikiko, wait! What? Oh, hello. This is a lad. Super Silent. Okay. Another Akita runs towards us from the crowd. He stops dead in his tracks when he sees the girl and walks up to her with a look of concern. Damn it, Mikiko. I told you not to go running off on your own. What if you ended up bumping... You're talking to someone. Are these people you know? Not really. Your friend there came running and crashed into my friend here. Oh, jeez, Mikiko. I told you this was going to happen. Oh, whatever. Look who it is. She points at me. Euphoric? I have to take a step back because her finger nearly jabs me in my face. Whoa, careful there. The boy follows her pointing finger, and as soon as his eyes fall on my face... See? What did I tell you? I'm sorry. What the hell is going on here? The boy seems to completely ignore me. I never thought I'd run into you in the middle of the street. I've wanted to meet you in person for the longest time. You're a lot bigger than I thought you'd be. Though I guess that makes sense. Do you guys know Yuichi from somewhere? I sure do. He's my idol for the longest time. I can't wait to meet you again. That's gonna be loads of fun. I wish I could stay and chat, but we're actually late. Come on, Mikiko, we have to hurry. But aren't you going to do a declaration of war or something? Don't be silly. There's no need for that. See you at the end of the month. Michimiya-san, bye. He grabs the girl's wrist and drags her along with the crowd as she kicks and protests. Wait, I didn't get your name. Well, that was odd. You think it was someone who knew about you as a tennis player? Had to be. There's no other logical explanation for what happened. What happened isn't logical, no matter how you try to explain it. We all jumped up in surprise as we hear Keikun shout from behind us. Once he notices our reaction, he quickly apologizes. Oh, sorry. But that doesn't matter right now. I know that guy was familiar to me. You know him, Ushihara? Yeah, I do. He's a rising star in the world of tennis, 1 year younger than me, so he should be a first year in high school by now. He wasn't unknown until 2 years ago, so I'm not surprised you haven't heard of him. So, when he said see you at the end of the month, he must have meant the perfectuals. Yeah, must have been that. His name is Yuya Kano, Kakonose. Kokonose. Yuya. To say he's a genius is to put it mildly. He's the sort of guy who plays completely by instinct. There is not real logic behind what he does, but he adapts to everything you do crazy fast too. He's the sort of player I hate playing against the most. That description reminds me of someone, actually. Shuichi looks at me. Keisuke and Saya follow his gaze, nodding along. Fits the bill spot on, if I'd say. Yeah, he's definitely very similar to Yuichi-san. The biggest difference between you two is that his style is more explosive. I don't really know how to put it. Even if you don't focus too much on strategy, you're still always trying to come up with a way to avoid your opponent's strengths and play to their weaknesses. He doesn't. He willingly plays against them in their own game to let himself adapt, and he's crazy fast too. You can be completely crushing him one game and then get the tables completely reversed on you in the next one. I've played against him 3 times and haven't won once. You think he'd be trouble for Yuichi if they ended up playing against each other? It's hard to say. If he's still the same way he was 2 years ago when I played him last, I'd say so, but I doubt he is. Shuichi puts his hands on my shoulder. Well, excuse me. Well, I guess that means you have one more rival to worry about. As if I didn't have enough already. He gives me a reassuring smile, though it doesn't really do much to take my mind off it. Yuya Kokonose, whatever. A player just like me? If we end up playing each other, that might end up as an interesting twist of fate. Not that I believe in those things, of course. Guys? Yeah? Didn't we still have to take a train to the park? Doesn't it have a fixed schedule? Oh shit! That's right, come on! Well, we're going to have to run to the station. What, but No buts, we're gonna lose it. Didn't what just happened, teach you guys anything about running on the street? Thank the gods for warm water. A good bath is all I needed today. God, how my bed looks inviting right now. Sheesh, I feel drained even though we didn't do much today. Well, I guess we ended up running around a lot. Aniki, I found the videos you asked me to look for. Thanks, Aki. I'll be down in just a second. No rest for the wicked. Yep, I suppose. Aki's on the couch, fiddling around with the laptop and plugging it into the TV. What's the sudden interest in other players? I ran into the guy in the street today, and one of my friends told me he might be trouble, so I got curious. Well, from what I saw in his video, I don't think he will. But then again, the video is from last year. He turns on the TV and immediately opens to a paused video of a tennis court. The quality isn't all that great, but then again, this was taken from a phone. He presses the play button on the screen. As the screen comes to life, in it I see the image from behind a certain Akita as he runs around, returning all of his opponent's shots. Go, you! Yuya, you can do it! Yukun, I love you! Yukun, go for it with me! Go out with me! Whoa, he seems to be insanely popular. He reminds me a bit of you, actually. His style is very similar. I can see that. I guess he wasn't kidding when he said I was his idol. Did he base his playstyle around imitating mine, or is it just coincidence? Well, either way, I don't think there's much for you to worry about. He's good, but his shots lack power. He's not as precise at and his footwork is crude. What? When did you become an expert on the subject? Oh, please. I've been watching you since I was a kid. Of course I can tell the difference between the imitation and the real thing. Huh. Still, something about this guy bothers me, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Well, you can stay here watching the video if you want. I'm going out with friends tomorrow morning, so I'm crashing early. Good night. Good night, Aki. I run my hand through his his head, ruffling his fur. He gives me a warm smile and goes back upstairs. Why do you make me feel so uneasy? Well, I guess I don't have much to gain from staring at the video. As Aki pointed out, his style is basically a carbon copy of mine, taken down a few pegs. I don't see any reason to worry, and yet I turn off the TV and the laptop. Guess I'm off to bed. Or at least it should. Most students just look around the class uncomfortably, as Shima-sensei is, again, absent. Again? What is this, the 4th time this month? Some of the students begin to chat among themselves. Some complaining, others just taking this as an opportunity to kick back and relax. Regardless, the classroom starts becoming more and more rowdy as time passes by. Don't be so critical, Kyo-chan. He might just be running a little late, or he might have had something to deal with. Still, don't you think multiple times a month is a bit much? Plus, he always nags if someone is a little bit late. Well. Oi, Gin. You're eating in class again. Put those chips away. But Shima-sensei isn't here yet, so what's the problem? The problem is that you're covering the table with crumbs. Again! At least avoid making a mess. Oh, sorry. Geez, these really are a rowdy bunch. Well, most of them. And still, the thing that bothers me the most is the missing tiger boy. Not this again. I'm getting flashbacks from last week already. Oro? Yuichi-kun? Is Kobayashi-kun going to be late again today? Man, he only transferred here last week, but I already feel like he's late more often than not. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I wonder what excuse he's going to give this time. Just as my mind begins to wander, the sound of the door opening whisks me back to reality. I turn around to look at... Oh, Kutsuragi sensei, what brings you by? The class rep immediately gets up to greet her. As always, she's quick to wear a smile on her face, looking ever so warm and gentle. Ah, Kitsunagawa-san, just who I was hoping to see. Come with me for a sec. She beckons the rep to her, and she quickly follows. They both shut the door just as they go outside. A bunch of students immediately press themselves against the door, trying to listen in on the conversation. What are you guys even doing? They'll eventually tell us what is going to happen anyway. Shish! If you're not gonna join in, then at least avoid spoiling the fun. Of course, Jinichiro is among them. I'm not even surprised. Fun? What's fun about pressing myself against the door together with 10 something other guys and risking being caught just to hear some boring news anyway? Oh, it looks like there's a new student transferring here today. The entire class immediately stands at attention. The students that had been sitting in their chairs, minding their own businesses, are immediately drawn into the peak. Whoa, really? 2 weeks after class started? Whoa, it looks like he's coming from Europe. Maybe he's going to be a supermodel transferring here because he got a job in Japan. Well, hang on a second. Who said it's going to be a guy? It's totally gonna be a chick. I'm calling it. Ugh, gross. You're already thinking of putting the moves on the transfer student. You were just thinking the same thing. Was not. The class immediately erupts in chatter about the latest gossip. What's so exciting about this anyway? Aren't you people getting just a bit carried away? Hey, settle down, will ya? I can barely hear what they're... Most of the students that were peeking through the door immediately scurry to their seats as they hear something on the other side. Poor Jin, on the other hand, wasn't listening and... What? He falls face first to the floor as soon as the door opens. Kitsuragi sensei is standing next to the door, staring strictly at the mouse, and just as that just fell to her feet. Class rep is standing next to her, face palming. Jin. Her tone is dry and full of disappointment. Although, knowing her, I'm sure she's disappointed at him being caught instead of him spying on their conversation. You can barely hear what they're... What? Is that what you're trying to say, Nezumiru-kun? Hello, Kitsuragi-sensei. She gives him a cold smile. A smile capable of sending shivers down the spine of whomever she directs it at. You will see me after class. She says it simply, as if she was telling him the other day, the time of day. Jinichiro immediately slumps to the ground, tears welling up in his eyes as if he were an anime character. Yes, ma'am. Ah, so pathetic. Kitsuragi-sensei smiles, patting Rep on the shoulder. Well, I'll trust that you will take care of this for me, right, Kitsunagawa-chan? That's just long. Yes, ma'am. She waves us goodbye as she walks down the corridor, back to the faculty office. The class rep looks down at the floor at Jinichiro, who is still sobbing like a child. Oh, come on, Jin. Get up from the floor already. That's pathetic. She said it. She straight up said it. That's so rude. Have some pity on me, for Christ's sake. He immediately springs up from the floor. No, it's your fault for getting caught. You should have known something like that would happen. Ugh, you're a devil, woman. Well, someone seems to have bounced back really fast. As expected of the class rep, she knows how to provoke people very easily. Guys, can I have your attention for a sec? She walks to the front of the class and everyone goes quiet to pay attention. Even Jin gets back to his seat, still huffing and kicking, and he sits quietly, nevertheless. The entire class is filled with expectation. I guess the talk of an overseas student really got everyone excited. Everyone listen up. Kusanagi-sensei wants me to tell you guys that Shima-sensei has called in sick today, and will be doing free studies during homeroom. Still, no one is allowed to leave the classroom, that is all. Eh? The entire room envelops in a different kind of silence, now that everyone's expectations were broken. Confusion had settled in. Wait a second, what about the transfer student? Transfer student? Don't play dumb. We know what we heard, talking about a foreign student. What are you talking about? Ayako, is there really no transfer student? It seems like the whole class is invited to this idea of a transfer student, invested in this idea of a transfer student. Even Kyoko, who usually keeps herself separated from our class's usual intrigue, is curious about it. This is the first I've heard of it. Sensei didn't mention anything like that to me. Seriously? And I was so looking forward to meeting a foreign student. The murmurs of disappointment became so loud that it sounds like one giant wall coming from our class. One giant whale. Whale. A few years later, our class would be inducted into the school's 7 great mysteries of the wailing classroom. Legend would go that anyone who heard these sounds would have their soul taken away in the afterlife in 3 days. Just kidding. Class rep watches it for a few seconds before clearing her throat again, drawing attention back to herself. Well, either way, you guys already know what to do. So either you study like you're supposed to, or at least keep your voices down as to not distract the ones who will. Her icy glare is enough to make most people flinch. Well, she didn't become class rep on good looks alone. She's very good at discipline on demanding respect. In a matter of seconds, the entire class immediately separates into two groups, those who are actually working/studying, or those who are playing around. I myself have no idea what to do. June isn't around, so I can't just talk to him. Although, admittedly, I'd probably end up tutoring him. If there's one thing I learned about the tiger since he joined, that he's academically terrible. I have to make sure he doesn't fail. Maybe I could tag along with someone else, or we're going with the bear. Sup? Yo. Kumagawa doesn't even look up from his screen to greet me. Not that it bothers me anyway. I've grown used to it over the years. What are you playing this time? Taro. The Bullet Hell game, released earlier this year, that got so panned by critics that it actually caused its studio to close down. That Taro? Very same. Huh. And why exactly are you playing that? I like it. He barely looks up from the screen for half a second and stares to the side in the direction of the class rep seat. Let me guess. You're mad at class rep for mocking your your liking of dating sims, so you plan to, what, play and badmouth a game she really likes, pandering to her love of failed games? He furrows his brow for a second, pressing pause on his screen and settling the console down. He sighs deeply and rubs his forehead. It strikes me that this is the most emotion I've seen in his face in quite a while. Okay, fine. If you really want to know, this shit is terrible. It's the worst game I've ever played, by far. So you're still here? You're still sitting here on your free time, playing something you absolutely hate, just so that you can bash it to her later? Yes. Alright, now tell me. This is a victory for you. This is a victory for you. How, exactly? He blinks for a few seconds. Realization finally dawning on him. She'd probably laugh at me for doing this, wouldn't she? I think she'd derive a sadistic pleasure from seeing you like this, yes. Kumagawa looks to his side, a hint of red tinting his cheeks. Don't worry, I'll pretend I never saw you playing this. Your reputation with class rep is safe. Thank you. Nope. Class rep shows up from behind Kumagawa, grabbing his video game from the table and looking up at the screen. Oh cool, Taro. I didn't expect this sort of thing from you, Kuma-chan. Give it back! Sure, here you go. She gently places the console back in his hands, a sly smile on her face. So, what do you think of the game? Kumagawa furrows his brows. He looks like he's trying hard to come up with something to say. It's the worst thing I've ever played in my life. It's totally unbalanced. It controls like ass, it's repetitive, all characters are essentially the same. How do you even like this? She smiles, a devious smile, that immediately sends a shiver down my spine. I don't. I just like seeing the desolate look in the people's faces when they play it in my recommendation. What? Kumagawa gapes at class reps, chuckling. What a sly little fox. Kudos to you, though. I didn't actually have to say anything, and you played it anyway. I have to say, your reaction was glorious. Kumagawa sits completely still, almost paralyzed. His mouth is hanging completely open. His eyes are slitted. Frankly, this is the most emotion I've ever seen on his face. It's almost kind of funny. You? What's wrong, Kuma-chan? Cat got your tongue? Akiko, hurry up! What are you even doing? She puts both her hands behind her, curving herself so that she stands eye level with Kumagawa. Her eyes, her smile, innocently chuckling. Oops, I have to get back to my studies. Have fun playing Taro, Kuma-chan. She walks back to her chair, skipping along the way. Kyoko glares at her the whole time. Well, that was something. Kumagawa face desks his table so hard that the metal legs wobble. Kumagawa! I try to reach for him, thinking he might have hurt himself, but he holds his hand up, telling me to stop. He eventually lifts his head from the table, and I can see a huge red mark on his forehead, as well as blood dripping from his nose. Oh god, your nose is bleeding, hang on! I take a napkin from my bag and clean his nose with it. He doesn't refuse me. Hang your head back to stop the bleeding from dripping down. He does as he's told. I keep pressing the napkin against his snout to stop any blood that might be flowing. Are you insane? What did you do that for? I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's just a little blood. You're pronouncing fine as fine. You're not fine. Sorry. Sorry too? Kumagawa rolls his eyes, groaning. The bleeding isn't stopping. You're going to have to stay like this until it either does, either that or go to the doctor's office. I'd be fine. Fine. Just give me my console back. Nope. You're not gonna play until your nose stops bleeding. I quickly pocketed his console, taking it away from his reach. But... No buts. You should have thought about this before you slammed your head on your desk. He crosses his arms, pouting. Still, he does as he's told, what I tell him, staying perfectly still in his chair with the napkin shoved inside the bleeding nostril. The bleeding doesn't stop until the homeroom ends, though. He's my favorite side character. He's a gamer, you know. Obviously best boy. A few hours later. Morning! Asa! Shuichi and Saya stroll in through the open door, walking towards our usual lunch-eating spot. Where's June? He's a no-show today. I tried messaging him, but I didn't have any luck. Huh. Shuichi pulls a chair up quickly and sits on it, placing his lunchbox gingerly on the table. I wonder if something happened to him. Saya quickly follows suit, opening up her lunchbox to unveil a poorly organized mess of a lunch. How is this poorly organized? I mean, it's not like the most perfectly laid out, but like, shit seems fine. It looked like the whole thing was tossed around and dug into before being closed. Definitely 0 points for presentation. Oh, there it is. The whatever the hell it is lunchbox. What even is in there today? Seafood? Ding ding ding, we have a winner. But seriously, why should I care if my food is messy? It's all going to get mixed into my stomach either way. It's also going to turn into shit inside your body anyway. Does that mean you'd eat shit to speed up the process? Can we please not talk about eating shit during lunchtime? Sorry. Man, I still love, like, this specific portrait for Ilichi. Shuichi huffs grumpily, grabbing his pair of chopsticks and quickly separating the two. He opens the lid on his lunchbox, revealing a very well-organized and pretty-looking lunch. So who made it for him? That's the question. The contrast between the two sitting side by side is so stark it nearly makes me laugh. Well, that and there was no way Saya's looking at it. Saya's eyes his food with desire, looking back and forth between her own lunchbox and his. Shokun, No. He cuts her down before she even has time to finish her sentence. At least let me finish talking. I already know what you're going to ask. Are you really sure of that? I might have wanted to ask you something completely different. Different from what? From asking for your lunch? See, that's what you were going to ask me. Shuichi is crazy good with words sometimes. He quickly got her to admit that this is what she was planning from the start. Oh, come on. Yours is a girl's lunchbox. Wouldn't it suit me better? If it was a girl's lunchbox, the last person at this table should have it as you. Oh, damn. Oh, come on. Pretty please? From negotiating to pleading, Saya sure is quick to discard her dignity. Already told you, no. Just eat your food. Yet Shuichi doesn't budge. He calmly ignores her, lazily munching on his food. You're so stingy. I should have asked Hitaka-chan to pack my lunch for me too. Please don't try to take advantage of my little sister. Okay, so the little sister, yeah. What's the big deal? She packed a lunch for you. I didn't ask her to. She just does it because she wants to, and I eat it because I don't want her to feel upset. Are you saying you wouldn't eat it otherwise? No, of course I'd eat it. Hitaka's food is delicious. Well, she lives with your mother, so it was either learning how to cook or dying of food poisoning. That's true. Huh, at least someone in the family can cook. Shuichi's attention quickly snaps to me. He sits in his spot, blinking in confusion at my statement. What do you mean? What about me? Oh shit, I let it slip. Sai immediately freezes up as she notices my blunder. No, I mean in the household, yeah. I meant that at least someone in that household knows how to cook, you know. Since you don't live with them, you don't count. Shit, was I too obvious? That's true. You can certainly see it that way. Sai and I breathe out a collective sigh of relief. Thank God you're gullible, Shuichi. Oh, I almost forgot. Did you guys hear the news yet? Oh, yeah, that's true. Katsuragi-sensei came over to our class this morning to tell us. You mean... You mean about Shima-sensei being sick? Right. Yeah, that came as a shock to me too. Class rep shows up out of nowhere, putting a hand on Shuichi's shoulder. Though she has a gentle smile on her face, her voice sounds oddly stern. They both look awkwardly at each other for a few seconds. Class rep walks behind Shuichi, putting her hands on his shoulders and leaning on him a bit. Right, Shokun? Ayako-chan, you're hurting me. She wears a sweet smile on her face, but her hands are squeezing Shuichi's shoulders so hard that I'm afraid she'll puncture him with her claws. I give up! Shuichi taps her arm frantically, like a wrestler tapping out of a fight he can't win. Well, anyway, I'm glad you guys heard the news. Heard the news. Bye! She merrily walks out of the classroom, skipping on her step. What was that about? I thought I was going to die. I wonder if it has something to do with Aya-chan today. Seriously, is no one wondering, about me right now? Saya waves him off. You'll be fine, don't worry about it. You're such a jerk. The sound of the door echoes. Oh, there he is. Jun walks through the door. I am so shocked by his sudden appearance that I'm left unable to react as the tiger plops down in his seat. Whoa, are you okay, Kobayashi-kun? You don't look so hot. I'm fine. Really? You don't look fine. You look like crap. No offense. None taken. He rummages through his bag, pulling out his own lunch. He looks at it for a few seconds, with a sour expression, eventually shoving it back into his bag and settling it down on the floor. You're not gonna eat? I don't have much of an appetite right now. Jun slumps down on the table. What happened today? What's got you so down? My competition's tomorrow, remember? Oh, is that? Shuichi jabs me squarely in my ribs with his open hand. Geez, his hand feels like a knife stabbing right through me. Ow. I painfully rub my side as Shuichi glares at me. It's fine, Shuichi-san. I already expected Yuichi-san to forget anyway. Uh, oh, fuck. The way I said it made it transparent that I'd forgotten about it. Oh, sorry, June. I swear I was going to go watch it, honest. There's no point anyway. I've been forbidden from taking part by my parents. What? Why? I've gotten a little ill recently, and they decided it'd be better if I didn't push myself. Is it that again? June nods. The expression in his face is so strained. That? What's that? Oh, how do I put it? I had to take June to the infirmary last week because of a spike in blood pressure caused by stress. He got dizzy and felt lightheaded, and that triggered a panic attack, so he didn't breathe. June stares at Shuichi in amazement, completely bewildered by his words. You have excellent memory, Shuichi-san. I try. Anyway, that's really going to... They're really going to keep you from participating because of that, then? Yeah. Said I wasn't allowed to touch the piano until the doctor okayed me again. They're afraid I'll relapse. It's bullshit. Wow, never thought I'd live to see the day when a cuss word would come out of your mouth. I'm really pissed, so don't be surprised. Saya stares, starts patting him on the back, talking to him with a sweet and gentle voice. Aw, there. You'll feel better soon, I promise. Mizuguchi-san, I'm not a child. Really? Because you certainly act like one sometimes. I guess I can't disagree with that. Oh, so, he has a... so he does have some self-awareness. Are you guys supposed to be trying to make me feel better? We are, but teasing you is too much fun. You suck. I'm just joking to try and get you to lighten up. Shuichi runs his fingers through June's head for a few seconds, and then he starts vigorously tussling in. Listen up a little, will ya? Shoch-san, stop it. Well, aren't you two cute together? June smiles, drumming his fingers on the table. You know, I could just go to the competition anyway. With your parents' approval? Without your parents' approval? It's not like they can stop me from going on stage anyway. I'm old enough to make my decisions for myself. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the age of majority is 20 years old, not 19. You could just show up there without saying anything and perform as if nothing happened. I mean, I don't think your parents will have told the staff about you not participating anyway. Oh, that's true. Don't give him ideas. Oh, come on, he's old enough to know what he wants to do. I'm not telling him that he should, but if he cares more about participating in the competition than he cares about his health, what's it to you? But, fine, he can do whatever he wants, you're right. Saya blinks multiple times in confusion. That's weird. You're usually self-righteous to a fault. I was looking forward to arguing with you. It's no fun if you just lie down and take it. When did you turn into Ushihara? She smiles, struggling in delight. I understand why he does it. Agonizing you is loads of fun. To borrow a phrase from June, you suck! Saya laughs, snorting every now and then. Oh good, you're all here. Keisuke walks into the room, carrying a thick magazine in hand. Kei-chan, what are you doing here? Take a look at this. He throws the magazine on the center of the table, nearly knocking down our food. It's this month's copy of Saitama's Sport Mag. Look at what it says on the cover. Let's see, it's... Saya gasps, picking up the magazine and nearly shoving her face in it. What is it? Is something wrong? It's you, Yuichi. You're on the cover of the magazine. What? Give me that! I snatched the copy from her and examined myself. Yuichi and June try scooting closer to see if it is it as well, and I can't help but feel a little claustrophobic. It's true! The cover says Rising Star Month. They dedicate this edition to writing articles about promising athletes in multiple fields. That's pretty cool, actually. That's not all either. Look inside. We all got our own articles, even me. Oh, wow, gimme! He snatches it from my hand and starts flipping through the pages excitedly. Hey, I wasn't done with that. Shush. Ah, found mine. Let's see, what does it say? Scouts will want to be keeping an eye on 18-year-old Shoichi Urata, who should be graduating from high school this year. Urata had become well known as the Japan's best setter, and has received the Saitama's Best Setter Award 3 times in a row already. Urata's superior precision as a setter, coupled with a variety of offensive repertoire, makes him the foundation of his team's attack. Many professional teams have expressed an interest in scouting him after he has finished with his studies. But when approached for an interview, setter Urata declined to comment. That's odd, I don't remember being approached for an interview. Let's see what else is here. Even so, we firmly believe that setter Urata has a bright future ahead of him if he chooses to pursue a career in volleyball. And it wouldn't be at all unthinkable if he became the face of Japan's national team sometime in the near future, as he... Alright, that's enough. Quit hogging the spotlight. I want to see my article too. Keisuke takes the magazine forcefully from Shoichi. What? Didn't you read yours already? At least let me finish reading mine. I didn't. As soon as I saw it, I came over to show you guys. Learn to share. Let's see. Keisuke Urashihara was already a very discussed name in the media, as the young aspiring athlete is also their heir to the multi-million Urashihara Shihara Corporation. Well, he has been toiling behind Michimiya for a while. Oh, damn. We've seen some steady climbing in his national rank, and many believe he might soon make a breakthrough. Urashihara's style is based around strategy and analysis, and many have compared his superior tactics to the Japan's #1, Takagi Taneba, who stayed as number 1 in Japan for the past 3 years. Only the future will tell what we can expect from this young athlete, but we have high hopes for him. Not only the... Alright, that's enough. Give it back to me now. The two start wrestling for the magazine, pulling on it as on a childish dispute of a tug-of-war. Stop behaving like kids. I don't care. I want to finish reading my article. It's my magazine. I'm the one who bought it. I get to read mine first. Guys, you're making too much. Shut up. The two continue to struggle for the magazine. Eventually, just as we already expected, Shoichi wins and takes the magazine from Keisuke. The result was pretty obvious considering how much stronger Shoichi is. But Keikun's hand slips and Shoichi loosens his grip when the magazine is suddenly released. He tumbles back to his seat and ends up hitting Jun square in his face with the magazine. Ow! Whoa, Jun-kun, are you alright? Settle down, it's just a magazine. You're not gonna break his nose with that. I could have hit him in the eye. What if he... Jun gives a few taps on his shoulder, rubbing his own nose with a pain expression. Shoichi-san, I'm fine. Just please, don't hit me in the face anymore. Yes. Jun grabs back the magazine in Shoichi's hand and takes it away from him. He does it so gently and smoothly that Shoichi doesn't even register it at all. Hey! I just want to read an article on Yuichi-san. He's on the cover, so I imagine he must have a more detailed article. And remember, you just hit him in the face with the damn thing. At least let him use it as he wants. That's fair. Wait, but that's my... Shush. Wow, no, did I just, spill all over myself? That's fine. Saya calmly shuts him down before he has the chance to really say anything. Saitama's very own rising star, Yuichi Michimiya, is set to have his professional debut at the end of this year, with many people anxious to see how he performs in his last year of the junior rankings, as that could set the tone for the beginning of his career. Despite a few setbacks in later years and having some performance issues when it counts most, Michimiya is still cited by many sports critics to be one of Japan's most promising athletes across all categories. He has the body of a trained athlete, keen senses and reflexes, the mind of a chess master. He is a force to be reckoned with on the courts. Will this be the year that he finally defeats Takagi Tanaba and claims the title of Japan's number one junior? We can only speculate at this point, but many of us hope to see it. Shuochi looks up from the magazine for a second, and giving me a pointed stare. Mind of a chess master? Really? Hey, I'm not the one who wrote this. Still, that's really high praise coming from them. I'm not surprised. The chief editor of the magazine has always had a boner for Yuichi. Damn. Well, Mizuguchi-san. What? It's true. Even when he loses, he gets glowing reviews every time. He's had something written about him in this magazine almost every month for the past 3 years. That level of fanatism sounds like something my dad would do. Your dad's a fan of Yuichi-san? Fan doesn't even begin to describe it. Oh, really? What's he like? He has all of your matches from the past 4 years recorded. He rewatches them often, and he always shows up to your games, even when they're halfway across the country. Wow, sounds like you got you should get a restraining order on him, Yuichi. No offense. It's fine. My dad means well, but he can definitely be a little intense. Well, I can certainly see the family resemblance. What do you mean? Keikun sighs, rubbing the bridge of his nose in exhaustion. No, nothing, never mind. Jun cocks his head to the side in confusion, a gesture that has recently turned into the most adorable thing I've seen all day. Well, now that's all well and done. Can I have the magazine, please? I want to see my article. Oh, there isn't one. The air immediately goes frigid. What do you mean there isn't one? Sayu-chan, calm down. What are you talking about? I am calm. The constant cracking of her knuckles says otherwise. No. They didn't overlook you. It's just that this month's edition is focused on male players. Next month is apparently for the girls. Oh. Her body relaxes, and we instinctively, relax with her. I was preparing myself for the, Saya temper tantrum. Why didn't you say that earlier? You almost gave me the wrong idea here, Keikun. She playfully slaps him multiple times on the back. Mizuguchi-san, it hurts. Oh, don't be such a baby. It was just some light taps, as if a cute girl could hurt you. Where's the cute little girl? I don't see her. Urata, do you want me to punch you? Sai-chan, you're as scary as a Yakuza leader right now. Jeez, you're so mean. I'm just being honest. Then don't be. What was that at the gate? My attention immediately snaps to the side, where I see Jin staring intently at the window. I think I'm going to stop the part here, so I'll see you around, everyone.